Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic time. Now, before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. If you don't enjoy this content, well then screw you! Comment down below about how that makes you feel personally. In addition to that, if anybody is interested in joining any of our games, including this one, we do have open slots available. Be sure to reach out to me and let me know if you want in on any of them. If you want to support us even further, you can just join our Patreon under one of our lower pledges, and that gets you into our Discord server where you'll be able to hang out with all of us, join in some of our games, and just as a little something that I need to let every group know, Thursday, y'all, we are celebrating my 6th year of being a content creator. I was on Twitch for most of that time period, obviously. However, 6 years in total of me streaming D&D games, creating content, and building this living universe. 6 years, y'all. So we're going to be doing a little karaoke Zoom with everybody in the community. It's not going to be streamed. Fuck everybody else. It's for us. No one else. So yeah, if you're interested in joining that, just go ahead and join our Patreon down below, or let me know. Hey, players. I hope we see some of y'all there at karaoke on Thursday. But anyways, Fortram, go ahead and tell us what happened last session.
Last session, we were visited by a head bobbing down the river while we were out wandering through and around some swamps. The head turned out to be attached to a body of a the swim in the water elf, a aqua elf in pink. She was interesting.
Aqua elf?
Whatever she was.
A Triton. He was actually a Triton.
Yeah. That was a he?
That was a he.
Explains so much now. All right. We had a really enjoyable time with him, and then we were led by him to we decided that we would help him find his party that he had been leading through the swamps. However, we didn't really let him lead us to them, so we led ourselves, found his group that had been lost, as it had been taken by a giant in the general vicinity. The giant was away, but we found a bird cage. We snuck our way up into a bird cage, retrieved the notes that were needed by our person who was the leader of the lost group, fed the baby bird, tried to make nice with the baby bird. Subsequently, we heard the giant coming back. We ran for our dear lives. The baby bird seemed to be the baby of a rock, which is a super big bird, and it was a super big giant. And the super big giant at one point was like, I know kind of where you are, and just threw a lightning bolt in our general vicinity, which was plenty to scare us farther away. Luckily, because we had nicely fed the baby bird, nobody decided to eat us or kill us, and we got kind of a, yeah, all right, you guys can go, and we ran like there was no tomorrow. Handed off the notes to the Triton person, who subsequently went, thanks, and then was about to jump back in the water. We were like, wait a minute, you were going to give us directions to the hag that we are looking for. We're in the swamps because we're looking for a hag to break a curse on the Astoleth family. And she basically pointed in the general westernly direction and said, yeah, it's over that way. See how this part is lush woods? Over that way, it becomes dead, like dead woods. And in that area, that's where the hag was.
Yep.
And yeah, there we went.
And
I know
Regina ran off with her. Him.
Oh, and subsequently Regina ran off with him because.
By the way, Fortram, I hear myself echoing through you.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
We do that. There. Probably should be fine now.
Hear it a little bit.
Do
Nope,
ya?
not anymore. Now it's good. Now it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes,
Yep, that should do it. That's it.
Regina successfully runs off with this new individual, the nowhere near as pretty conventionally Corvus, but had a really good gyrating hip thrust movements about them. So, all of you are back together. Corvus, you finally get back from the bathroom. The nerves have been killing you, man. Like it's not anything pleasant for anybody to have to deal with. But yeah, you dealt with it. Your nerves are back, and you rejoin with everybody around you.
All right, what I miss?
You missed the other Triton.
Oh, there was another one.
There was a green one. I don't think you were related.
Pink. It was pink.
Was he pink? I thought it was.
No, he was pink.
Oh,
Are you colorblind or?
well, a little bit. I've been trying to stare at this book for so long that I'm starting to lose sight.
I think I heard about that, a case of that once.
Yeah. We saw the biggest giant I've ever seen. I ran away from it. We found this skull. And a few other things. And Regina ran off with the other Triton. So Lord knows when she's coming back.
So yeah, now it's just the three of you. Jasper is currently away in the bathroom right now.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of use.
I think all this travel through the jungle has caused a lot of issues with people in their digestive systems.
Yeah,
There's
looks
been a
that
lot
way.
of long bathroom breaks over the last few weeks. Yeah. So I guess we need to head off towards the hag, but I'm not sure, Corvus, you ever really decided what we're doing with this item. I think we all kind of decided that we had a few options, but it was kind of up to you since it's your family on the line.
All right, just to recap, let's go over those options again.
Well, there's always the option that we don't give it to her, or we try and fight her, though I'm not sure that's going to relieve the curse unless it happens to break with her death. We had talked about sending forward everybody but one person to stay behind with it and go and verify that giving it to her will fulfill the obligation, because we're concerned that maybe she had said at some point that it would not be enough anymore. So we worried maybe we were going to have to negotiate to complete it, and we didn't want to bring the item directly to her if we were going to have to negotiate.
That's probably the better of those options.
I feel like I could negotiate with her.
You know, strangely, I don't disbelieve that.
I still think we make a fake one.
I don't think that would go over well. Something in me just says that she can probably tell what this is. That she probably would know if it was a real thing in her hands.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, if she were to detect the magic on it, we made it ensorcelled some way so that it had the same flavor. I don't know. We got a little bit of walking to do, so let's walk and think about it as we go.
So, you all begin heading deeper towards the southwest, I believe it was, from your current position. You went to that one. Southwest.
Yeah.
And you just begin trekking through the swamp, moving over different mounds of clay, mounds of mold, and other algae that all seem to accumulate with moisture that is very uncomfortable in this environment. The heat is spreading across you all, and despite the fact that everywhere else you've been up until now has been relatively cool or cold, it is now inhospitable in this location. It definitely feels like the air around you is thickening. You can almost drink the air. It is so condensed. No?
Does it taste
Uh,
any different?
Why don't you roll me a
Mold.
nature check?
Oh Lord! All right, that's not my forte. Neutral.
10. You don't really come from humid environments in general. I mean, you were at the Menagerie Coast, but a beach humid is completely different than a bayou humid.
Yeah.
So, different,
If I
yes.
taste anything,
How
I drink
so?
whiskey.
Okay. That's how you beat poison. More poison. But anyways, yes.
Just got to
So
build
you
up
all-
a tolerance to it.
That's just like every poison. So you all keep moving. Now, I would like a survival check from one of you.
I got it.
Perfectly average. For you.
All of my rolls tonight are perfectly average.
Yeah. Hey, that's good enough.
Yeah.
As you begin moving through, you start picking up pieces of the jungle that look different. Like the humidity and moisture has been ripped out of branches and they're not from this location. So you use that almost like a trail that leads you deeper and deeper into this area. And after walking for about 3.5 hours, you successfully come across a completely different landscape and environment. As you are moving through, you break out of the large vines and all of you step up and you see this incredibly large, petrified section of this jungle. The trees are all completely bone dry, looking like a disgusting gray coloration. You see thick webbing filling this area almost completely all the way across it. An incredible amount of spider webs in this location that does not bode terribly well for any of you. Now, who wants to roll me a religion check? You know what? All three of you go ahead.
Religion.
King of int checks.
Argon, you are so good at not thinking. As a wizard. 13. You walk closer towards one of them, and you definitely discern that there are different types of webs in this area, Corvus. But any more information about the inhabitants of this section, unfortunately, you can't make at just this glance of the location. Visibility is better in this area because there's less vines, less overgrowth. It's all dead.
Is there any high spots? A big rock? Something that we could get
There's
up on to
trees.
just sort of... Yeah. I'm not a tree climber respectively.
I could probably try.
Good
Just
point,
feel
it's
like
not an
a
intelligence
vantage
check.
point for a look would probably be good.
Make the intelligence check.
Hey,
Oh,
Argon,
I was-
do you see anything up there?
I don't think I'm that much taller to gain a different perspective on the area.
Well, roll me a perception
Just
check,
staring
Argan.
down. I just stare up at him like, are you replying that to me? All right.
Argan's only 2.5 heads taller than you.
Really?
And not very perceptive.
Yeah, you look around this landscape and it doesn't really look inhabited to the naked eye. If there is something here or things here, they're probably more predatorial than the jungle, than the jungle you are leaving.
Right. Joy. Well, gents, what do we want to do? We want to just wander?
Well, I mean, this sounds like the area of Finn that Triton described.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I'm just going to scan until I see what looks something. Well, that looks interesting. Let's head that way.
Give me a perception check.
From my vantage point. Okay.
Yeah.
Because from my vantage point, I don't know that. Nope.
This
is all
right.
dead.
Fordrum, roll me a d8.
Damn it. All right. There we go.
You all watch
will
as
travel.
Fordrum begins traveling, and after about 4 or 5 paces, I need you to give me a dex save, Fordrum.
Dex save?
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Failed that too.
You begin falling down a section of loose dirt that seems to have been piled higher in this area, and you stumble and fall and crash into all of these large webs all over you. And as you crash into them, you will suffer 8 points of slashing damage.
Holy crap.
As you feel these razor-sharp edges of some of the webbing that is wrapped and tangled around you as you fallen into it.
Ow! Mother damn whiskey.
You all
right.
look over at him, and he's completely entangled in these webs.
Little help? Watch your step.
All right, I'm gonna try to help him.
All right. So give me a go over there and give me a acrobatics or athletics check to make it to him without stumbling like he did. 15's high enough. You managed to very carefully move around and get over towards him. And you can reach his leg and try yanking him out of there if you would like. But these webs look pretty strong.
Is there any way I could try to cut him out, or?
You can try if you would like. You're the one who made it up to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do more cutting than just try to yank him down.
Okay. So after taking a good couple of minutes just snipping away with your blade at many of them, and you do feel that the spider web even attaches itself to your blade. If it wasn't exceptionally sharp, it might even entangle your weapon. But after you get enough of them out, you do manage to drag Fordrum back up to your landing.
I was afraid I was going to have to burn you out of there.
Yeah, I was about to burn myself out of there.
Well, I saved the day yet again.
Yes,
You
thank
did.
You, Corvus. My hero.
Well, so now we know to keep the lookout for that. Yeah. Can I search around and see if I could find a worn path or anything like that?
Give me a survival check.
I was hoping it was going to be investigation.
You know what? I'll allow investigation.
I won't find
Come on.
anyways.
Come on, just don't roll intelligence checks. You do great. Don't roll intelligence. You do great. You are a wizard in book only. For reference, he has a +1 survival and got a 16. He has a +9 investigation and got a 12.
I don't even know what you did to my character to make me do this. But
I didn't do this. Roll20 hates you, man.
it does. We need to move.
It saw what happened to my last level 20 wizard. It doesn't want any of the other ones to get there. But anyways, as you begin looking around this area, you do notice that there appears to be a windy path through this area that has charred bits of webs. Like somebody walked through and torched a path through here. Without destroying everything, of course, just destroying enough to actually traverse. Though it is designed for a much smaller individual, smaller than any of you. Both height and width.
Well, I think if this, following a path just seems simple yet dangerous.
Danger is kind of part of the deal at this point.
Yeah. I pull my axe out.
All right.
I'll go if you're ready.
You have a torch or something we can light so you can burn your way through rather than dawdling your axe?
I look at him like I don't really understand the question. Burn your way through. Yeah, we could.
And that's what this one person already seemed to do. You could just grow that.
For them. All right. So I take a torch, I put my shield on my back, keep my axe in my hand, and I go shield, sword, and axe. That seems like a better idea. Or I go axe and,
Torch.
Yeah.
Torch. Now, keep in mind, you are proficient in torches. They do hurt people.
I know, but compared to the shield and the axe, they don't do anything.
Sure.
We don't practice fighting with torches very often.
So, thanks to the path that Argin had found, if you follow along that direct pathing, just torching your way through so that the three of you can fit through, you're not going to be impeded along your movements at all.
I make a few jokes about trying to torch the tall parts and not able to reach and leave it a little low, so Argon's got to duck a few times, but
that's fair. As you are moving through, you all do hear the creepy skittering noises in the surrounding area. Periodically, you even see an incredibly large spider. And by that, I mean roughly about Fordrum size, moving through here. And there's not just one, there's several. They seem to be traveling, eating, catching. But they manage to stay out of the path that all of you are currently burning through. At one point, I believe, Corvus, you're the one with the high perception in this party, right?
Oh,
No, Fordrum is.
Uh-huh.
You watch as a spider appears directly beside you with a white and blue body, looks at you, and as it starts crawling, just disappears from sight.
Anybody else see that?
See what?
Right on.
I didn't see anything.
I think there was a spider right there, and it was white and blue, and then it went from there up to there, and I sort of trace it with the torch, and then it disappeared there. So just be aware in case there's a spider that suddenly appears.
Enough.
So,
And I keep moving.
you all walk through this area, and you notice now that as deep into this forest as you all are very deep underneath these webs.
Wait a minute. I got an idea. We made a dagger of seeking. Who has that? Is it?
Jasper does.
It's Jasper.
Yeah.
Jasper.
Oh, hey, Jasper shows up. Yeah, hey, hi.
Hey, here, hand me your dagger for a minute. I'll give it right back.
Sure. He hands you the dagger.
Yeah. And I sort of put it on my hand, and I'm like, which way to the hag? So it can spin
Alright.
freely.
So, Dagger of Seeking, if I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
is that the locate object, locate creature, or which? Give me a second, let me look at it. I have the Google Doc open already.
Okay.
Rare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weapon gain Seeking. As an action, you can activate this augment and declare a creature type of your choice. You're declaring Hag.
Hag it is.
All right. Hag is not a creature type. So you have to declare Fiend or Fey, if you remember which one it is, because you did learn that.
Yeah, got it.
Or if you know a specific creature, which you don't know her specifically.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn around to Argon and Corvus before I make this, and I go, we got to remember what kind of creature type it is, because it's not seeming to respond to Hag. Is it? She's a fiend, right? Or was it a Fey? Does anybody remember? I seem to remember fiend, but I didn't pay
I
a lot
don't
of attention.
think she's a fiend.
No?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
I would think either Fey or maybe Aberration.
Aberration? I don't know if aberration's one of our choices.
Religion
Can I
checks.
roll? Oh, religion. Okay.
All three of you, religion checks.
Here comes that in.
Hey.
Oh, finally.
Hey! Okay. Corvus and Fordrum, I mean, hags, as far as either of you know, there is associations with Fae and there is associations with fiends.
Right.
However, Argon, the fact that you are standing inside of a spider's territory, the way that this entire area has been molded and shifted into an inhospitable climate specifically meant for insects to dwell in and exist very, very well, you imagine she's probably Fae.
All right.
Fae usually have closer associations with insects and animals than fiends do.
Yeah.
However,
Works for me.
Argon, you start realizing a few things. You remember reading about a couple of different types of hags that aren't your typical ones in Exandria. Though, of course, they could exist here, as many creatures do, even if they're not native to this realm. But there is a specific group of them that are masters of stealth and guile and can hide their deceptively bulky bodies behind small objects and fitting through creases in doors and corridors with relative ease. They also are like spiders with prey in their webs. They can sense the presence of any nearby creature within their proximity. And once they have decided on which target to slay, they have a devastating blow that can slay very mighty heroes in a single hit.
Oh,
Well,
and-
I'll share that happy information with the group.
Yeah.
What is their devastating blow, if I can be so bold?
A
Is it
strike.
poisonous?
The text that I read didn't get that detailed into the description of the blow. I imagine because few people have survived it.
You know what? You rolled fairly well. I'll tell you, their blow is not poisonous in nature. It is their daft predatorial type of strike where they move their attack through the body to pierce vital organs. It's not
Well, that
really a
sounds
damage
horrible.
type. You would probably estimate that it's probably piercing, if anything.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyways, you speak out, Faye, and the dagger spins in the palm of your hand and shink into a specific direction. And you start following the path, which is leading directly in that direction.
Okay.
The path you are walking, though it is not as direct as the dagger would point you, presumably is safer since someone else already traversed it and went further ahead. So, you all continue traveling further and further ahead. Your heads completely engulfed underneath this canopy of thick webbing to the point that, aside from Fordrum, none of you can actually see on top of this mountain of different webs. Not until you get another 200 or so feet in. And you see, through some of the breaks in the webbing, this massive tree that looms outwards and has these little tiny spiders dropping down and coiling into this magnificent webbing all around you. There's spiders of all variety and colors just moving around as they see fit. And even further up ahead, you see a deceptively small figure sitting down on a stump, hood wrapped around their head, hiding most of their body except a lone witch's staff in their hand as they just sway from side to side, directly beside this massive tree.
Okay.
Remember, the hag can make itself look deceptively smaller.
Is that what the dagger's pointing to?
It is pointing roughly in that direction.
All right. Well, ho there.
Joy, you look up and you see these four individuals, sorry, Jasper is here, walking through your path, just burning it a little higher than what you had to do. Would you like to describe what you look like?
Joy standing at 3 foot 2 inches, so great height. Goblin, green skin, lilac eyes, blackish hair, not pretty dark. Has ear pierced, decently long ears, very fine clothing, like very well made. Weird. And she's just moving about very energetically, like not staying still at all.
Very ADD.
Very ADD. From the first impression you can get, she's ADD kind of thing.
But yeah,
ADD.
you had no idea these individuals were approaching you until exactly when they made themselves aware.
Hello.
Hello?
I just look back towards to see if there's anything catching the burning.
No. They followed your path, which was made inside of that very specific silken exterior that when you burn it does not ignite all of it, just burns through that one section. You specifically looked for that for a reason.
Yeah.
You don't want to fuck with all the spiders.
Why are you here?
We're looking for a hag. Why are you here?
Looking for a hag.
Okay. Are you looking to make a deal with the hag, or are you looking to deal with the hag?
But more just talking. I just wanted to come talk.
And you
I was
chose a
t-
hag.
Well, yeah. You don't. How often do you get to talk to a hag? How many hags have you talked to? I'm.
I feel like I could make a couple jokes about aunts and uncles or aunts of mine, but no, seriously, I don't know. Is this a
No.
quiz? Like, I think you could make, if you live in the neighborhood of a hag, you could speak to a hag all the time. But if you don't, then you have to come here for this.
I just was told that the hag here knows a lot, so I came. And nothing really better to do. I did need to discuss something, but that's... Yeah, it's fine. Oh, hi.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to introduce. Hi, I'm Joy.
Hi, Joy. I'm Fordrum. That's Argon. That's Corvus.
She hops off the stump and starts walking up to you.
So for height
Okay.
reference, Fordrum, you come up to Corvus's like mid chest. Joy comes up to your mid chest, and Corvus comes up to Argon's bottom chest. So it's very AT&T right now. Just
right. We look like the bars on
4
people's
full
phones.
bars.
yeah.
New party name.
Oh no, the 5Gs. Oh no.
I love that.
All right, Joy, here's the deal. We're not here to really negotiate. Well, we're kind of here to negotiate with the hag. We may end up in a fight with her because she's cursed Corvus's family. Now, if you're here to parlay with the hag, you may want to take your business with her before we get in touch with her.
I'm just here to drop off. She starts digging in her backpack. Has a book. I need to return this, I was told. And just...
You have a book you have to return to the hag?
It's not mine.
Do you know what the book is?
What's the book, Jiro?
The Wisp in the Night, a philosophical book about how the advantages of dark vision actually grant predators at night an acute advantage against anybody else who attempts to go against their natural calling of staying in the daylight.
Yeah, I was just told to bring this back and pick the brain of the hag. I guess.
If I can ask, who gave you the book to give back to the hag?
Oh, I'm a mentor.
That your mentor had borrowed this book from the hag?
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
How did your mentor feel about you?
Oh, he was very happy to have me. Why?
I mean, it seems pretty dangerous to send a pupil on a task to return something to a hag.
Oh, he has the utmost confidence in me. Plus, how much fast I can go right now. He's not immobile right now, but that's not the case at all.
Huh. All right. Well,
yeah, I just gotta bring this, and I was just gonna talk to her. I could do the talking later after I drop off the book if y'all want me to.
Well, I don't know. This is a pretty good time, I think, for us to decide, like, how we're going to approach this scenario. Corvus?
Well,
do you have a plan or an idea of how you would like the conversation to be with her? Or should we just see what we get and adjust accordingly? I mean, I assume it's a parlay, but that's my assumption, so I don't know.
honestly, knowing our track record, anything is going to turn into must adapt accordingly.
Right.
However we go into this. So we might as well go into it
All right.
deferentially.
Argon, can you do that magic where you blip away real fast?
You mean where I, misty step from one location like 30 feet away?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. We give the tuning fork to Argon. Hold this.
Okay.
And if getting away is paramount, maybe you'd be the way to get away fast. Is that okay, Corvus?
I can agree to that.
All right.
Joy, because this is happening directly in front of you, roll me an Arcana check. Tuning forks are one of the most magically sought after devices in all of Exandria, especially if they attach to different planes of existences. They are the literal conduit that allows you to move over to another plane of existence if you can perform magics of that quality. You're not quite there yet. And stay there for longer than 48 hours. Because, of course, the law of attunement, if you try going to a different plane of existence and you do not have an artifact specifically attuned to that plane of existence, you immediately get ejected from it back to your home because of the law of tethering in,
Magical
those
theory.
amount of hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that right there is one of the most highly sought after magical devices in all of Exandria.
Y'all have a tuning fork? Can I see?
No.
Can I look at it?
I just look over my shoulder at Argon, like,
I can't see any harm in letting up.
I let her step past me to
Yeah.
look at Argon, figuring if she's looking at it in Argon's hand and anybody flinches, I could probably cut her head off quickly enough.
Joy doesn't notice.
Yeah. I'm not doing it threateningly. I just...
Well,
Joyce.
Where did you... Argon, right? Where did you get that? I've heard of those and I know of them in books, but I haven't actually seen one in person.
Deep in a cave.
Deep in a cave? Why was it in a cave? It could have been a cave. Was it from the sorcerer or was it from what? I wonder, huh? Did you fight... What kind of... Do you mind if I pick your brain for a few hours? I have so many questions.
We don't
you know where it
necessarily
goes?
have a few hours, but
Do you know where it's attuned to?
yes. Don't we?
Yes, we do.
You do.
Yeah.
Do.
Do you mind if I ask? Or was that something you can keep hush hush? That's like some secret stuff. Some like spy.
I don't know that it's super secret if it's attuned to here.
To this plane?
Yes.
That could be very useful for bringing outsiders in. If you had a friend like on a different plane, you want to bring them here, someone strong, I guess you could use it in that way. But there's also many other things you can do. Probably also sell it for power to some demon.
Yeah, bringing something here was our biggest concern.
Well,
Right.
that's the best use of it at this time I could think of. It's just off the top of my head what I'd use it for. Like bring something strong here.
Joy, can you
Fordrum.
tell us what
Sorry.
other...
1 second,
Sorry.
Fordrum.
Yeah.
As she is babbling, your dagger, which was positioned like kind of past Joy, begins rotating to your right and is now pointing behind you.
I just turn around.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. 11. Right in the middle again.
I mean, the
Jesus.
dagger's pointing in that direction, which means theoretically whatever Fae is near you should be in that direction. However, you don't see anything other than the webs. Now continue.
Yeah, different uses of it. So what were you gonna say, Fortune?
Do
Yeah,
what?
a question
Wait.
for me?
Can you tell... okay, so if it's attuned to this plane,
Mhm.
you said something about you could bring things from another plane here.
Oh yes. What you have to do is you have to bring it to the other plane first. Whoever you want to bring back. Like, say if I wanted to bring, it's not the most noblest reason, but one of the lords of the abyss. If like say Baphomet, for example. If I wanted to bring
hell.
Baphomet,
Wait,
and
no,
I just
let,
sorry, cut you off right there. On a 26, no. You can only bring forth a creature that is of equal power as the attuned
Oh,
forth.
okay. Okay, well,
Baphomet is
way
way too
strong. My
powerful.
bad. I'll bring it back down. Okay.
This thing could bring, like, you know, a Baylor at most.
Okay.
You
Okay,
know,
so
like,
say-
not that bad. It's
My bad, I
bad,
thought it
but
was-
not that bad.
I thought it
pretty
was
bad.
So say if you want to bring something, if you knew a Baylor pretty well that you wanted to bring to this plane dimension, you go to temporarily to the plane where the Baylor is. Once you get to that plane, you give it the tuning fork and bring it back with you, and then be permanently here. That's one of the uses of it. There's other things if you give it more time and study, you could do, but
So
more
there
to
are
just
many uses that could come into play.
Hello.
You all look above Fordram's head where he's looking inside of the webs, and there is this massive, I mean massive, looking hag with long, wispy, spider silk looking hair and fingers that are elongated and just hanging out on top of this mound of everything. You can't really see the backside of her body, but she is on top of this pile of webbing looking down at you, and her smile, her mouth goes about 1.5 to 2 feet wide as it is smiling down at all of you. And for reference of size, huge. About that.
Whoa.
Many uses. Yes. You must be the boy.
Joy, you would be aware, or wait. You would be aware of her title, which is Belda Marie. If you look at the token, you can see it. Belda Marie.
You must be the eldest boy. What was the name again?
Astoleth. For Miss Astoleth.
It is a pleasure.
Yes. Pleasure.
Hmm. So,
She scurries around and lands on the downside of this area, and you see she has this massive but thin looking thorax at the back of her, as her limbs and her hands are extensions at each prong of these 8 legs that she has, hands at the bottom of each of them as she moves around and scurries around all of you very quickly.
ah,
Joyce, can I
Oh.
try to attempt to walk up to her? Miss
Joy.
Belda Marie?
yes, Joy.
Justin told me to bring this to you.
Oh, I thank you.
One of the hands picks it up and throws it towards the tree, where you watch a spider just slinkies down, grabs it, and goes back up.
Neat.
Okay.
So, Joy, I'll get with you in just a moment.
Okay.
Corvus, your name is. By the talks, you all have my item.
That we do.
Well, I have to say, it took longer than I expected, but to be fair, the strongest of your lineage was not working on this, were they? Not from the get-go.
She gets closer to you, Corvus, and her body, you know it's massively large, but as she looms over you, it almost slenders down to fit within your vision on all sides. You're not sure if this is illusion magic or a malleable form, but it is beyond creepy.
I stepped closer to Corvus too. And I dropped the torch.
Clever, all of you. to move through the path designated by the student over there.
Just gestures with her long, creepy nails at Joy.
It would have been most unfortunate if any of the newly hatched would have found you.
Mm-hmm.
They all have a mound of their own. But anyways, shall we complete our deal?
The hand just stretches out towards you, Corvus, and the hand is roughly the size of your navel up to the top of your head. Mostly fingers, though. The palm almost looks like an average-size palm.
Oh,
Corvus, she could negotiate this with this thing with anybody.
yeah, first, I do have a few questions that I need answered about this deal.
Of course. Nobody can say I'm not opposed to bargains. What is it you
Well,
offer me for your questions?
Out of character, I have to look and see what the hell I have.
Fair.
What do you mean? We're still negotiating for a really powerful item. Just use that as our bargaining chip. She wants what we got more than we want what she knows. Maybe.
Oh,
I have 6 extra pairs of pants. I picked up for the giant. There you go.
I have much better silk here.
I have a pocket watch,
Oh,
silver with gold chain.
She just holds her one nail out towards you, which is, slightly shorter than a dagger.
let me see it.
I will put it on the nail,
Dink.
I guess.
Very gracefully moves it over towards herself.
This will warrant you 2 questions.
Flicks it up, and again, Slinky Spider.
First and foremost, I must ask, in giving you this artifact, will that be enough to completely erase the curse placed upon my family?
It will not reverse what has already transpired, but it will remove the misfortunes of the fates that currently plagues you and all that came from your father's loins.
So, and so going forward, okay? Actually, that was just the one question I had.
Shit, yeah, bro. Here, just
Ask her what she intends to use it for.
Fair enough. If it's not too bold to ask, I would. What is your intent with the artifact?
My intention is to hold power over others of my world. To be able to return home and come back here as I see fit. And to gloat over all of those that do not believe in the Baldar Mari. I will receive many, many boons of personal gain from this item, yes. However, if you're asking me to reveal my overall plan, no, I will not do that.
the entire time she has not stopped smiling. or scurrying around you all in circles.
So she wants to mostly sell passage out of the Fae to here.
She didn't say that.
Well, that's what I got out of that. That may not have been the right interpretation, but that's how I interpreted what she said.
Okay.
Likewise.
Oh, okay. If that's what you want to believe, sure.
Don't say things like that. That's terrible.
That's my job.
I know.
However, if you are asking if I have any ill intent towards this place, no, I don't. I've been here for over a year, and I grow quite fond of this nest in particular. However, I would like to return home and come back as I please.
A fair enough request for anyone to make.
Of course. So, do you wish to remove the gaze of the fates from your family and lineage?
I looked to Fordham and Argan just to make sure they have no final objections.
Of course. But remember, what would they know about the honor of your family and the value upon that honor?
And she scurries back towards the tree and moves up it until you no longer see her within the branches. Oh, wait, actually. Yeah, none of you see her any longer in the branches. Sorry, Fordram's passive is just high enough that if she did fail, he would see her.
Hmm.
That sounds like a pickle y'all are in.
We are at that. Corvus, I stick with it being your decision. I can only imagine the lengths that I would take to protect my own family. So, one or the other, I could never judge you for the decision you make.
Hey, Joy,
Yes, Fortune?
if and maybe Argon could answer this too. If a curse has been placed on a family, does the curse die if the thing dies?
It really depends upon the curse.
It depends on the curse, yeah. It depends on what type of curse they're doing. 'Cause some curses can go on definitely, some will end with a creature. If, say, it was more of the 9th level curse spell of Curse of Misfortune, that one doesn't end with a creature, but if it's the Curse of Ill Fates, that one can end.
Argon, she's learned. And to clarify, she's the first person you've interacted with since you left that place you left that has been learned.
You seem to have a very good education, Joy.
Right. Before
I
we
tried my best.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But she did say the ill fates would be turned away from you. So does that mean?
Generally, well, not with the death of anything. In some manner of speaking, all curses, in theory, can be broken. In theory, at least.
Fordram's eyebrow just goes up.
The difficulty to get rid of it can go anywhere from, hey, I want to eat a piece of cake, to difficulty of doing a back rope over a building backwards. A tightrope, my bad.
And also religion check from Joy and Argon, honestly. Unless the other two are proficient, you can roll then.
If it's outside of my religion, I don't really know anything.
Your religion actually cares about the wilds very much. But only if you're proficient.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay. Joy. You would also be aware that if there was a deal struck with this hag, the curse is the consequence of not following through with the deal. She didn't curse. It is the consequence of breaking a deal. When you make a deal with otherworldly creatures, they're not the ones that have to exact revenge on you.
It keeps
The
both sides
laws of
neutral.
nature will.
Yeah. It keeps both participants in the fairness of the deal kind of
Yeah.
situation.
And based off of how they've been acting, you're not positive, but it almost sounds like there was a deal struck that wasn't paid forward.
I do have a few questions when I was thinking about it. This is a curse from a deal, it sounds like, from just a general discussion there. Sorry for overhearing, my bad. Of overhearing too much. But was this
We
from a
spoke
deal?
right in front of you. That's entirely fair.
I'd still.
Yes, it was a deal.
Did someone break the deal?
My father.
That's not good.
If the deal that was struck gets resolved by someone else, can it remove the curse?
Maybe more or less. It's like more or less. I would say could. Jerry, gonna comment?
Yeah. Belda Marie can't lie. You're fully aware of that, Joy. She can't lie.
Faith.
It is against the way of Fae to lie. They can't. They are
Yep.
prohibited from ever lying.
So I would say, yeah, if you give whatever item to fix the deal, whatever she said will happen with her exact wording. I do want to warn you though. This is something I've learned is with the Fae, they won't use their words in a lieful manner, but they will mislead you with their wording. So you do be careful with that for your deal making.
Yeah, I've known the type.
You really have to be careful with their wording. Very picky with their words.
So I think the next question is, what was the deal that was broken?
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with those words being known, Corvus, you should maybe ask that, because maybe it's something easier than giving her the key to the kingdom.
And at the end of the day, if the tuning fork is in the full scope of the deal, it might not. The deal and the curse, whatever curse y'all have, might not go away. It might, maybe only partially might. It might just stay forever and just get the full thing. I'm leaning towards the former more than the latter.
Well, she did just say that that the curse would cease.
Yeah. She said the tuning fork would make the curse cease. So, but again, what if we were able to fulfill the deal? Would that also cure the curse?
If you could fulfill the letter of the deal without giving it, but it would depend upon what the lettering of the deal really was.
Yeah.
Right.
It's how the fiends generally operate is with lettering, not the spirit of the deal. If you can fulfill the exact letter of the deal, generally how it works is they'll let you skate by. You're playing a risky game with it because if they find you're not in the correct, it's still curse is going to go.
And they tend to not like being outsmarted.
Generally not.
But it is theoretically a possibility if we have any idea what the actual wording of the promise was or the deal.
Do y'all have any idea? I can try. I'm not the
Exactly.
best.
No.
I'm not the best at helping with contracts in that nature. But I can try and assist with trying to figure out a way to help you out too much. If I want.
The question is, can we even find out what the Corvus has already used his 2 questions, so we'd have to buy more questions.
I do have a address somewhere. Not entirely certain.
I
I have some scrolls.
Like magic scrolls? 'Cause
Yeah,
those
I have
might-
like a scroll of disguise self, a scroll of mage armor, a scroll of magic missile, scroll of unseen servant, scroll of invincibility, scroll of dream.
Those are considerably more valuable than what I've been offering.
Well, that's true, but it's all I've got that isn't extra pairs of pants.
So, Argon, question. Have you already learned from those scrolls?
Yes, I have.
If I were to give... I can give up a component that she might like. In return for if you let me look at those scrolls and learn from them.
Yeah, if that's the route we want to go, I'm certainly willing to make that trade.
I have about up to 400 gold of diamond dust.
Bodies like that.
Do you think she looks like that?
Let me see if she takes the dress first. That might be.
Okay.
If not, then yeah, we can buy something else. But I can't imagine who else would fit to a dress this size.
Hmm.
Wow, how big is the dress?
Well, it's described as being large in my
Oh,
inventory.
why do you have a large dress?
I forget the exact reason why.
Oh.
There is a reason.
I'm sure.
There has to be.
I'm sure I didn't just steal a dress that nobody could wear for no reason.
So... Joy's just like doing thumb thing, like rubbing her thumbs in circles. So... we calling to offer her about the dress?
Yeah, but one more question.
For the one more question about what's the exact wording of the deal.
That would be the one.
Okay.
Around this
Okay.
point, Fordrum, your dagger rotates around a couple of more times, and she just kind of appears behind you from out behind the webs.
Okay. I turn around to face her.
She looks down at the dagger and then back at you.
Oh,
Aw.
that is an interesting item you have there. So what is it?
I would like to.
Do you, Corvus? Do you want to ask? And do you want us to hear it, or do you want to ask in private?
I don't particularly mind if you hold me at this point. So, Damari, I must ask,
Yeah.
would I be able to trade this robe for one more question? Aside from asking if you want the robe. The dress.
Is that a fine robe by any chance?
It's described as being fashionable,
Fashionable. Roll me a
agree.
persuasion.
green with silver. Detailing.
Silver can be valuable.
22.
Fine, but your next offering must be juicier than that one.
And again, she takes the dress and throws it up.
And What was the exact wording of my father's deal?
Did he really not tell you?
Give me the gist of it.
She shakes her head.
I always tell you mortals that you should really write it down. It's very important. Regardless, I can tell you.
Please.
Sorry, only one question.
And goes scurrying back up the tree.
Uh,
You kind of
I
walked
offer
into that one. I'm sorry, Corvus.
That
Joy
wasn't-
raises her hand. I'm gonna try a system so I can get knowledge from him. If I give 200 diamond dust, would that be sufficient to answer his question?
She lowers her body now on a thin line down above you all, looming over top of you, Joy.
I mean, unless you wish to ask the questions you came here to ask me originally in place for them. But sure, I'll take the dust as well. I thought your master taught you better than that.
I was trying to offer the dust for as an offering to you for his question for the next sacrifice for them.
She didn't answer my question though.
She did.
She
No?
did. Yes,
The
she did.
exact
She was
wording
just
I asked was the wording of the exact words my father's deal, not.
I heard, could you tell me the exact wording of my father's deal? Is that not what you said? That's what I heard.
Okay, so she's just being a bitch about it. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, very much
Could
so.
you ask? Could she tell you? She answered correctly. Yes, she could.
It's like the can I go to the bathroom thing? Can you?
I don't know, can you? Yeah, literally.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's the fake one of that. I'd rather learn knowledge from you about the School of Illusion than assist that much. I think it's much more valuable. She's just blabbering out loud where her thoughts are out loud.
100 gold worth of your dust. And I can warrant you the answer of what you intended to ask me.
Okay. She takes out 2 bags, pours the dust to about 100 G. Yeah, that'll do. And she just holds it up straight above her head, just smiling. Here you go. Thank you.
Takes it.
The exact wording of our deal is that I would give your family foresight into purchases that will make you rich for generations. Places to discover good quality materials that would ensure the future of you and your siblings.
And she reaches out towards you, Corvus, and just like gently boops your nose with her
Can I
nail.
block that? Clank.
And of
No
course,
touching.
Thank you. I say out of the side of my mouth.
and in return for telling him the location of these places, he was responsible to venture into one of them and find me that emblem and to give it to me within reasonable time. Now, it's curious how reasonable time works. You see, for me, reasonable time is when he can physically do it. The misfortune comes from him not acting when he could reasonably do it. See, you could have saved your family a lot of troubles, hardships, and blights if you just simply would have done it when I asked originally. Right now, misfortune glares upon your lineage as collateral until I receive what is due to me. Perks of the heritage.
So there's your answer. Corvus, are you there, or are you just resting?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
There's no reason for any of us to be hostile towards one another. Your plans to attack me, I really don't wish to come to blows with any of you. None of you have wronged me.
To be fair, we don't technically have a plan to attack.
Sure. It's just at the backs of your minds right now.
And she like winks at you, Fordrum.
Yeah, because Fordrum's like, bitch, you are not seeing the back of my mind. It's on the front of my mind.
Option number 1, get it.
Right.
I say give it to her.
She holds out her hand towards you, Argon.
I will hand it to her.
I cast that. And I'm looking at Argon to see if what color he changes to, if at all.
Okay. Argon does not appear on this spectrum. However, underneath Joy's hood, you see that there is a Fey sense coming from it. And this entity before you, there is a Fey sense coming from it. And from further behind you, there is a lot of Fey presence coming from it, and aberration presence.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't have any elemental spiders with her right now, so yeah, just those. But yeah, you hand over the tuning fork, Argon.
As the fulfillment of the contract of Corvus's family.
Corvus should hand that over, not you.
I'll hand it to Corvus then.
So, Corvus, do you hand it over?
Yes.
Plucks it from your hand between her nails.
Such a beautiful, beautiful item. Thank you.
And she eats it. Immediately as she does that, Corvus, you watch as a green wire pulls off from your shirt and shatters.
Huh.
It would appear that the fates have righted your family's wrong already. You seem much more reasonable than your father. If you wish to parlay any more, feel free. I'm always up to making a good bargain or two.
I feel I've traded as much as I intended to.
Very well. May I ask where you all intend to head next? And before you think I'm trying to be devious, I could very easily hide one of my many, many agents on your clothing and you would never know.
I can't speak for everyone, but I personally intend to head back towards the Astoleth just to see my parents.
Oh, lovely.
Don't really have a plan.
Yeah, no, I was planning to just learn a little bit here, then see what draws my attention next, and just walk.
Well, Joy.
A book gets carried down by a spider and placed into your hands, Joy.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, what? Why the book?
Because she returned the other one.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to return this one to you again in
Eventually,
the future?
When she's done with it, yes.
Is courier fine to send it back through? To
That
you?
is perfectly fine. Now that we have properly met each other, it should not be a problem.
I just look around at a spider-filled thing and think to myself, what motherfucking courier comes into this place? And if
Yeah,
that's an
That's gotta
occupation,
be a premium service.
It's pretty pricey, about 25 gold.
25 gold?
Yep.
I don't know that I would do this.
It took breaking a fucking curse on my goddamn family to get me here. I wouldn't have come within 100 miles of this place otherwise.
Right.
I mean, think about it. You guys did have Fireball this entire time. Just turned it
figured
into
that
a
was-
light show.
I
Doesn't
figured that
it
was a
cost-
great way to piss her off.
Doesn't
Oh,
it
yeah.
cost more than 25 gold to cast Fireball?
No.
No, Fireball is technically
Damage from Fireball might cost 25 more gold,
Yeah.
but Fireball's
Yeah.
selfie.
That's just some bat guano.
Hmm.
That stuff's cheap in the right place.
Okay.
Well,
caves we go through. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Well,
No pun
Corvus,
intended.
I like you. So, allow me to give you a little something if I can.
She holds out her finger and you see a tiny spider brooch.
I just look at him and I'm like, what's the cost of that?
I was about to ask the same thing.
It is free. When you decide that you would need any, let's say, otherworldly assistance, why not ask the Madam of the Shade of Noct? And we can make a deal at that time.
Bunch of shade knock whores
Ooh.
running around somewhere.
See, but you made a contact in case you ever want to sell your soul in the future.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
we do not deal in souls.
Oh, sorry. Firstborn. Or
I don't deal in those.
Wait a minute, but
I
a
mean-
curse that affects an entire lineage, that's dealing
I did not give that curse. The Fates did. He broke the deal. And that is the consequence that the Fates deemed necessary.
I will hesitantly accept it.
Okay. So go ahead and add brooch of Belda Marie. Madame.
Now I'm looking to see if he turns evil.
Madam of the... Which association was she again?
Shade.
She was the
The Shade of Noct. Go ahead and add that to your treasure, Corvus.
I already did. Oh, treasure.
Well, the proper name to it.
Yeah.
Because in the
already did.
future, I need to know each of those parts when it comes up. Because if you just say Belda Marie, I'm going to be very confused.
impulse the
Why,
title of the
how many
book.
Belda Maries do you have? I'm good. I get it.
The title of the book, Joy, is The Wonders of Soul Searching and How to Find It in Others. A philosophical tome of the value of companionship and learning through the experiences of others in your presence.
That is the next section of your studies from your master. You might want to find yourself good folk that can teach you many things about the world outside of this forest. Joy.
I'll try my best, and thank you for all your lessons.
Fordram's face is all skewed up like, motherfucker, who are you? Are you saying we're not good folk?
She turns away back towards the tree.
Now I will keep all of my nest calm for 20 minutes. Goodbye.
Goes back up the tree.
We should start heading out quickly.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Let's go.
Do you mind if I tag along? I kind of been there. You
At
do.
this point, I see more reason to keep you with us than to
Yeah,
Let you
you're,
die.
not.
you're welcome to come along. Besides, I still owe you a pick of a scroll from when we get somewhere a little safer.
I can't. I can,
Said we'd go
I
find
can
out what's
scroll.
in that motherfucking tree. All
A
right.
lot. There's at least a
No
dress and
shit.
a pocket watch.
And a book.
Right.
Yo,
And 100 diamond dust.
yeah.
100 G of diamond dust.
Sure. So anyways, you all run your way all the way back out of this entanglement of webs and wood until you make it back over into the swampy territory. And I think this is probably where we're going to go ahead and go on break, everybody. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. Before we jump back into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It definitely helps out our community oh so very much. It allows us to continue to do what we are doing for the sake of just doing it. In addition to that, if you're interested in joining our community, joining any of our games, you can reach out through our Patreon and get hooked up inside of any of them. You could also just support us by becoming a member here on YouTube. Memberships, I believe, are $3.99, $4.99, something like that. And it just helps provide a little bit more, assistance with what we are doing so that we can continue to grow, continue to get more cool little bells and whistles with everything, and, well, take off from there. But without further ado, let's get to it. Where last we left off, the party had moved into a desolate forest, a creepy, petrified-looking location filled with spider webs all around. Discovering a pathway, you all followed into it just by scorching it to be a little bit taller. At the end of this pathway, you discovered the individual who originally made that smaller one. A little goblin folk by the name of Joy that you all got to meet. Now, upon having a little conversation with her, Fordrum realized that the dagger that was locating the specific Fae that you were looking for right now rotated behind him, but he still didn't see the entity even when looking more closely in that direction. It wasn't until she chose to make her appearance for you all that you became aware of Belda Marie, a very powerful and old spider-like hag that radiated with an energy of not exactly distrust, but deception. Though you did learn through Joy that Fae can't lie. They're not allowed to lie. It is physically binding that they cannot do so. But they'd like to be deceptive if they can be. And after trading away a few goodies, some of which, unfortunately, not getting the value from them that you really wanted, you eventually came to the terms of handing over this attuning fork to Belda Marie and removing the curse on Corvus's family and lineage. So, after that, you all ventured back out of this area, moving very quickly and bringing along with you this new goblin folk. And now you break out back into the jungle-like terrain. And this is where we pick up. Some of you are a little tired if you're not athletic.
Well, from here, I say we make our way out, make our way back to Corvus's father, see how he's doing. I think we can, at that point, heal his broken body, and then maybe get them back on track to earning their way. I wonder if they're going to have the foresight that she talked about now, or if that part of the deal is broken.
With how the deal works, they should still have it because they just completed the deal, unless the fates are being very vindictive. But they shouldn't be. If they want to honor. It'd be very stretching if they didn't.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't really trust any of these people.
I would have asked about that if I had the collateral for it.
Yeah, no worries. You can trust in their words, just not their intentions.
Strange group.
Yeah, used to it after a while. With a lot of talking. Be careful of what you say. They take a lot of things literally.
You spent a lot of time around the Fae, Joy.
I spent a lot of I spent a lot of time around Belda.
How much time?
She gives a date for a week ago. How long was it since that day?
About a week.
So for about a week.
That's a lot of time for you. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of time. I could have been doing other things. I could have been walking. I could have been reading another book.
Literally any other thing.
Yeah, many things I could have been doing. That was a lot of time.
Joy, also remember, you live until 16 as a goblin.
I thought it was, is it 16 or 60? Goblins live till 60 if I
no.
remember correct.
No, goblins have a very short lifespan.
But is that a cultural thing, or is it because of the repercussions of being a goblin in the world?
Oh, you adult by 8, but you live up to 60. Yeah, it's a cultural thing. It's not. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
In the Empire, most
That's a
goblins
life
don't make it past
expectancy.
16. Right. Unimpeded 60. Hey.
Joy has a long future ahead of her, hopefully.
That's
She might
still
even
the
live to
short
50.
group.
She might get to 30.
Yeah.
You may have chosen the wrong path if that's where you're going. If you're looking for old age, I'm just saying we don't necessarily have the track record. Just how do you feel about prison, Joy?
I don't like it. Bad experiences with that.
Yeah.
Same, but experience is all the same.
You
I
may...
don't like prison.
Prison's
I have
not
to
good.
emphasize that is plural experiences.
Y'all
So?
been to prison?
Yep.
So,
So
are you all
honey.
walking back to Diastock?
I
Yep.
mean, you don't
If
exactly
only
have
there
no
was-
work
Yeah, if only there was another person who was capable of teleporting you back there the way that you originally got there.
Unfortunately, we haven't seen a circle anywhere.
You guys arrived in Diastock on a circle.
Yep.
I thought you told me we weren't heading to a circle. Because I asked her.
Oh,
we
yeah,
did
that's not
ask.
one of the locations that you have. Yeah. That's
She
right,
said
that's
she
right.
didn't know the local circle, and if I found it, she
Right.
wanted to know about it.
Right. So you need to work on finding it for her. All right, so you guys
Yes.
are going to track your way back there on foot.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. You guys cool if we just fast forward through this?
I'm good with it.
Please.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Somebody roll me a
later.
D100. Let's just see if something happens along the way.
May I?
Oh, God.
Sure.
Sure.
15.
Odds are.
I love rolling D100s.
I forgot you're just as bad as Otis.
Yeah, Jiro knows that I love rolling them because I always get horrible results. Or interesting results.
All right, well, let me reflect on the danger about... Actually, 15 is not low enough for any confrontations.
What? I should've
Yeah.
rolled.
Anyways.
Formdron's disappointed that we didn't get a.
I'm just kidding.
You all
I'm just
take the very, very long, not really treacherous journey back outside of the surrounding forest and heading your way all the way northwest, back to Diastock. Roughly about 2 weeks later, you all arrive in town. As you are walking through, you look around yourselves and you see that the town is still in the exact same manner that you all left it. As you begin walking through, you do get everyone in town stopping to go, "Morning! Morning! Morning!" to each of you.
Hello. Hello.
Wait to everyone.
Hello.
They do a double take towards you, Joy, but they still go, "Hi," and keep
I'm
going.
trying to keep the hood low kind of thing. Like, oh.
Right. But you all move through the city, and there's not really anything out of place that you can tell. You look at the castle in which your father is bedridden, Corvus, and there doesn't appear to be anything wrong about it.
That's a good sign. Or at the very least, a net neutral sign.
So, are you ready to go inside, Corvus?
Yep.
Ready as I'm gonna be.
Alrighty. You all step up to the front of the estate. The guards recognize you yet again, Corvus, and allow each of you in, but with hesitation when it comes to Joy. They definitely need your assurance. However, in 2 weeks, she has not tried to kill any of you on this journey. So, there's that.
Might bug you with questions. Tried to kill you with kindness.
Argon's happy to have conversations as we go.
Another intellectual.
There's someone to talk to about magic and.
But anyways, as you move through here, Corvus, you go down the long hallway, escorted by the guards, and they simply open the door. You look inside, and you see your father sitting up inside of some odd-looking contraption. It looks like a chair, but it has these wheels on the side of it for stability. And your mother appears to be pushing the back to keep him moving.
I wonder what they'll call such a contraption.
A wheelie go.
Okay.
We'll probably call it something silly like a rolling chair or something.
Yeah. Like
Rolling
rollerblades.
seat.
Roller chair.
Roller chair.
Wheeled throne.
Roller seat.
As the door opens, your father looks up to you. You see he's still burned across many portions of his body, but he's clearly doing a lot better as he just smiles at you.
You did it. You killed her.
No, I just gave her what she was looking for.
That's it? And
Yep.
all is forgiven?
It would seem that way.
It's amazing what happens when you fulfill your end of the bargain.
I don't know for certain that we're going to keep the upside of the deal, but the curse is gone.
I mean, lesson learned, right? No long-term damages to anyone other than myself, right? So, other than psychological, but you'll get past that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a prayer of healing.
You conduct a prayer during their interactions, and it does seem to rejuvenate him a little bit. Looking at what ails him medically, one of the other healers here steps forward, a very old, paled-faced man with eyes that are almost fogged over, wearing wearing robes that have the iconography of the Crystal One. It would appear that he is beginning to heal naturally again, and we have already put in requests for a healer to regenerate his body even further, to expedite the process along. However, healing seems to be taking hold of him yet again.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Well, Corvus, thank you. Thank you so much. And all of you as well. I wish there was something I could offer you all for helping me, but at this time,
We're a bit destitute.
we'll recover. We'll recover. We already have plans of selling the mine and other places for at least a minor return on investment, so we'll recover.
Just sucks that mine was so valueless in the first place.
What mine was valueless? The one with the acid in it? The one that we originally found? I don't...
The one that crushed my body almost to death? Yeah.
I don't know that that's really the truth. I think it was valuable if it was just managed correctly.
What do you mean? Did you discover something? I'm sorry, I literally took 4 steps in there and then gestures at his body.
Yeah, I know. We're aware.
But is there something else?
Well, it's already set up to do a fair amount of mining. So all of the infrastructure that would be needed to make it mineable is in place. Even like unseen magical people who move things around and
Really?
do the work for you.
Did you see any proof of precious metals, gems, anything?
No, but we didn't dig much. We didn't dig at all. But without digging, you don't find anything. Everything that had been dug was found. So mines don't work where they just provide. You have to actually dig.
It has been over a month. Did you forget about what you guys did find?
Maybe I did.
You found platinum ore.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
like
that's
in
right.
the entrance, platinum ore. Like
Right.
it's rich.
That's right.
Yeah, this mine is. We don't want to sell that just yet.
Really? So there is value there still. Okay.
Platinum.
Well, I'll call in a couple of favors across Zadash, and I'll see if I can't get a. I'm sorry.
I have some gold that might help you to.
Stop. It's my responsibility to take care of this family. Okay. If I have to pay up a couple of favors and go into debt a couple of years to recover, that's fine. I'll do it. It's the least I can do. You keep your earnings. Just, if we do get on hard times and your siblings, I'm sorry, they're both next to useless.
I left them with a rather sizable fortune.
Right.
Fordham just rolls his eyes.
Right. Well, thank you all so very much, and once we start yielding proper numbers, I'll be sure to compensate you all.
I know it's not my place, but can I make a suggestion? And I look to Corvus for a nod or anything.
Sure.
You ever think about maybe offering some of the take to a dwarven family? We're good at mines. Better than who you might get across Zadash.
Would your family be interested in partnering with
know.
me?
I don't know, but I mean, I feel like if it were me and I was gonna dig in a mine, I'd want my kin before other. We're honorable. We're holy people. We know how to do it safely, and we forge fantastic items that, while a little too gaudy for Corvus's tastes, other marquis and such like them.
Do you...
I'm wearing one of your pieces right now.
Hmm. Well, in all honesty, at this point in time, I can only call upon favors from individuals that I have built up a rapport with. However, if you have a family that is in the business of mining and you would like to build a partnership, I would relinquish a portion of my ownership of that mine to them in return for their assistance with excavating it.
All right. Let me write something and see what we can send.
Very well. And of course, if you need to send immediately, we have the good good priest here who can do that for us.
The old man just like kind of smiles at you all.
I just half smile at him and go, "We got ways." Corvus, you got any of that paper?
Yep.
All right.
This is
Well,
worth one of these.
I'll write a note to my uncle explaining what we found, that it's an option, and if there's an interest with them or others, to reply back. And then we'll set up how to transport and take it from there.
Yeah. Okay. Keep in mind, you guys know how to use the fire paper ritual, but not everybody else does yet. The world is learning. So he's probably going to have to get back to you in more direct
Or
or...
we could include instructions on how to, write on the backside.
I mean, yeah, you could. Remember, that'll be another piece of paper, though.
It's worth
Because remember, it's mage paper that you're using, wizard's paper.
it. Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
worth it in this circumstance.
Sure. All right.
One's the instructions, and one is the please write on the back.
So, Corvus.
I mean, if that would be the whole thing, I'm not wasting a paper on that.
Your father will look over at you and can you take a, I don't know what to call it, stroll? Looks down. A stroll with me, real quick.
Sure.
And your mother shows you how to use the wheelchair properly. Push, pull, don't go too fast, don't pull too hard. Pretty standard stuff. And you two go down the hallway by yourselves. After you're a good 40 feet or so away from everybody else, he begins talking. Do you think we're safe?
I think we're as safe as we're going to be.
Belda, is she... Do you think she's going to come after me?
I don't believe so. At the very least, not anytime soon. She didn't say anything that would indicate she would. But our kind can be very tricky.
Right. I've been having these dreams. Just of spiders falling from the ceiling.
Yeah, spiders were kind of a thing.
Yeah, I kind of noticed when I talked to her the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know. My body's recovering, but
No, that's more than fair. I've had a few nightmares about that place as well.
how long are all of you going to stay in town?
Probably at least another, maybe a couple days.
Okay. Okay. And, we can take walks like this every now and again just to, keep tabs. I don't want to worry your mother, and no offense to them, but I don't trust people I don't know. Right now. When I saw your little friend come in, I was fearful she had changed what she looked like. Can they do that?
I know that they can't lie as a rule, but that sort of deception, I don't know how it fits in for them.
They can't lie.
Erring on the side of caution, they are powerful spellcasters, as far as I know. I wouldn't put it beyond them.
You see his hands are kind of like trembling as they're clasped over one another. Are you Belda?
No.
Okay. He gives a very big sigh of relief. Okay. Couple of days. I should... The druidess should be here by then to, regenerate me. Good. By that time, I should at least be able to defend myself if anything happens. Nothing's probably going to happen, right?
No, I wouldn't bet on it.
Right. You know, not like I knew this was going to happen. But anyways, good job, son. Good job. You helped us out a lot.
I did what any son would do.
Kind of tilts his head to the side. I mean, what any good son would do. Kick him in the nuts. Really?
Call back.
But I'm probably going to stick to my room mostly. Of course we'll go for our strolls if anything does happen. Just be around just in case. And you look at the side of his head and like although his body is recovering, you could tell his eyes look very paranoid right now.
Yeah. I briefly searched through my pack, and I pull out a belaying pin. Father, this might, it's not a lot, but I'm sure you might feel a bit more comfortable with something close at hand in case, on the off chance something does happen.
Right.
At the very least, it's just a sense of security.
He'll, shakingly with both hands take it and kind of, like, tuck it up his sleeve on his right hand. Of course, dominant hand. Well, good. It's good that you're back. Oh, good. So, I should probably get some rest, huh? Let's go
Yes.
back. However, you should really talk to some of the nurses they have here. Your mother might be getting upset with how handsy they are. Can't blame them, but, you know.
I will be sure to do that.
So, you bring him all the way back to the room where everybody's still having their conversations. Joy is just looking at the bookshelf and reading books off the side of it. Your mother comes over. Corvus. Feeling better, dear? I am. I think I need to rest up, everybody. It's been a long first day out of bed. So,
Maybe the first of many.
of course. But I will, see you on the grounds at some point. Take care. So, you all are shown to different quarters. You can choose to pair up in rooms, but this castle is large, or sorry, shouldn't call it a castle. This estate. It's not big enough to be a castle, it's just an estate. This estate is large enough that each of you could have your own quarters if you so desire. But that's your call.
Do they have a forge
In town,
in town? Yeah.
Yep. There is a actually a nice wagon smithy in town. They do horseshoes, they do all of the pins and nails for wagons and
Yeah.
all of those things. So it's pretty big. It's just
I'll
it's
see if-
designed for that stuff.
Yep. I'm gonna see if they'll let me spend a few hours in there.
Sure. But back to what I was asking previously. Do you all want your own rooms or sharing?
I'll take my own room, sure.
I'm gonna offer if Joy wants to stay with me because I'm concerned that some of the guards may mess with the goblin.
You know what? That's fair in the Empire. Yeah.
Since
Sure.
since we're in the Empire and we at least share, the love
I-
of the arcane knowledge.
I will remind you, Joy, that you have a low wisdom, and he's asking you to spend time in this.
Yes, I know. I will do it, but don't do anything. Don't get handsy. She kind of like pointing the fingers, kind of like,
You come up to my knee.
Stop. Okay, we're done with that thought.
If there's a room that's near Argan and Joy's room, I'll take that. Cause
Yeah.
Same idea. If anybody messes with any of us,
Yeah.
I'll be badgering them.
All right. Yeah, you could have rooms all on the same wing as all of the guests, including the Astoleth. I guess elders.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that's the proper term for them. Matriarch and patriarch, yeah. But anyways, you all get either your individual rooms or sharing between the two wizards, and, well, it is the beginning of the day, so you all have whatever you would like to do for the day. Forge Amari said he wants to go into town and look for a forge. The other three?
I have this nice book in front of me I got from the hag. I need to read my first read through of it.
Yes, of course.
I
You
want to
can't
spend
read
all
while
my time
walking.
I want to spend all my time trying to figure out the book I've got that I can't seem to figure out.
Go ahead
Two
and give me
wizards
an
in a room.
intelligence check.
2 wizards in a room, just reading books.
Two wizards chilling in a hot tub.
5 feet apart.
Because they're so awkward. Oh, Argan, I'm so sorry.
I'm never gonna pass it.
I know. You have one of the most powerful artifacts in the entire world at your fingertips.
I know. and I
Can't figure out the lock.
And you're optimized to open it.
I know.
Can't.
I'll try to get it when a forger comes back for the night and see if he can give me a little divine inspiration again.
All right, Corvus, are you hanging out with the nerds or are you hanging out with Fordrum?
I suppose I'll go hang out with Fordrum.
All right. So, the two of you walk through town, looking around and enjoying this very modern development that it has. Now that you're spending a bit more time in town and you're a little more relaxed, there's definitely an increased presence of guards in this area. Though none of them seem to interact with any of you, and, well, with any amount of hostility at all, actually. So, the two of you walk through. Yeah?
I just ignore them, pretty much. I feel like they don't bother me.
The guards never bothered you anyway. Well,
Mm-mm.
as the two of you walk through, any chit-chat, anything?
Yeah. Joy, did you want any of these scrolls?
Do you mind if I use the dream one to look through?
No, help yourself.
I'm gonna try to finish this book first.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in my bag if you need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joy has a smile on her face at that statement.
Yeah, I know that's a dangerous statement, but he's spent his too much time around Regina. He just lives in the chaos now.
Yeah. Joy's just
I
reading the
think
book.
we all do at this point.
Yeah.
Joy's just going through her first read of the book, petting a weasel in her lap. She's just like head scratching like this, just reading.
Mm-hmm.
Now
The
that
weasel
Corvus
wiggles
is
around.
now that Corvus's family's on the up and up again, I'm going to give him the cloak of billowing, so that he can look more dynamic as a noble.
Oh, you trying to give him that
Oh.
aesthetic? You trying to go for the big aesthetic of gallant hero kind of thing?
Yeah, Corvus is our.
I'm into it.
Corvus is the face now, so
Oh.
we picked up this cloak of billowing when we
Wait, shit, am I?
raided the giants. We also have a really cool backpack you haven't seen yet.
Magical or what kind?
We got a backpack that can hide things.
Yeah, but I don't think we can give that away. I mean,
I meant for Corvus.
Like a haversack, or is it
Kinda.
bag
know,
of
but it's
holding?
Different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did the four of you want to be together or go your separate ways? Which one?
I'm just going to the forge to see if they'll let me make something and then do a big long sort of prayer and build something. All the while I'll be asking Corvus about, how's his dad doing? How's the things going? What do you think about the plan of maybe looking for a dwarven family to place? Yeah.
He'll reply when he gets back. He just AFK'd. But yeah, you do find a smithy in town, and, well, they actually look pretty bored right now. Like, the guy has the hammer, just, like, balancing it on two fingers, just sitting down, looking bored out of his mind. The forge is on, it's just he looks bored. So, you walk in. It's a shit. Let's go with human. Everyone's a human in Dia stock.
Yep. Fine. I'm just going to say, hey, lad, you mind if I borrow your forge for a few hours?
That'll be, 2 gold an hour, and you use your own material.
I look at him and I go, okay, how about this? I can teach you what I'm doing, and or you can have what I make when I'm done.
Roll a persuasion.
Okay. And I add in, I'm from Utherdern.
Crit. Oh. He, like, straightens himself up. I mean, I guess I could learn a Utherdurnian technique or 3.
Wonderful.
Sure, yeah. Let me get ready. And he puts on, like, these obnoxious goggles and obnoxious freaking apron and big burly gloves, and you look around the shop and he literally makes horseshoes for a living.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And he'll just hover.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to ask Corvus things?
I was just asking Corvus, making small talk. How's his dad? how does he feel about the plan of maybe inviting dwarves into their mine? Things like that.
As far as the dwarves, I think he's still mulling it over.
Yeah. I think that they will benefit that mine greatly. It's real raw, and it's been real neglected for a really long time.
I think so too.
I think the ends of what could become of it would be pretty great, hopefully.
I
So
agree.
yeah, good. I hope if the question comes up that we could have a little, I would hope that there could be a little trust built, and then everyone can go about their path beneficially. And with that, I'm gonna take out, like, I've got so many pieces of old ass armor and and shit that I've been wanting to melt for weeks. And I'm gonna make layers of it, and I'm gonna sit there and heat it up for a long time, and I'm gonna seem extremely nonchalant about as I'm doing it. And then as soon as I take the tongs and reach in the fire, I look over the shoulder and I ask the smith, all right, what's your name?
Bello.
Bello. All right, so here's what we're doing. And I pull out like 3 or 4 pieces, and I'm like, these are all made of slightly different metals. And then when we pound them together, they're going to become one, but not fully. The different elements of it will still remain separate. And I'm going to start wailing on it till it starts to combine and become a nice billet. And then I'm going to knock it in half and fold it over and heat it again, and until it gets to be this big block of all these layers of old ass armor until I finally am like, now, and then I'm going to smash them down again and then forge out. I'm going to actually make a gouging tool, the kind that you use to gouge out hooves, because that'll be functional for him. So I'm going to make a really fine Damascus gouging tool for this guy.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a blacksmith check utilizing, we'll call it strength.
18.
Not bad. Yeah, it's definitely better than what he has lying around the shop. His stuff looks to be years and years and years old. Like it was made and never upgraded ever.
Yeah.
So you definitely
Sort of
manage
figured.
that. Corvus, you just hang out while he's doing this and, appreciate a much simpler state for the first time in a while.
First
And
time in a while where
occasionally-
I'm not in immediate physical danger.
And occasionally, while sharing, I throw in little bits of scripture. Just 'cause
You're
it's
trying to
woven
convert.
No, but I try and make the beauty of the craft as sort of the religious implications that it's supposed to have.
Fair enough. So, during the evening, or during the majority of the day, you do successfully craft this item, and the guy ends up, taking down a lot of notes of what you are doing, like, at certain times stopping you to look at it, exactly how you gripped it in order to move it while it was still in the fire, and, this guy has, you would say he's only half skilled in blacksmithing. Like, he was shown how to do specific things, and that's it. He has no actual mechanical knowledge of how to be a blacksmith, He just, it's like, I know how to set up macros, or I know how to program. Big difference.
Yeah.
And he seems to be soaking it up, and, trying to contemplate different ways that he can make a living off of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's done, I'll be like, look, next time you shoe a horse, lift here. It goes in the point this way. Handle goes left, go around. Handle goes right, go around. Clean hoof. And he'll be like, oh.
Yeah, definitely. But anyways, you complete your prayer. You complete the item. And by this time, the city has moved on over into night. You hear the stomping and clattering of different horses. You hear jolly noise coming from a couple of taverns. The quieted snores of the drunkards along the streets. And the two of you start heading back. Nice, easy day. Now, you all get back, and you're asked if you would all like to have dinner by yourselves, as the Lord is still currently not free at this hour.
Yeah, that I imagine we'll have dinner as a group when Fordrum and Corvus get back.
All right, that's what I'm saying. They're back.
Oh,
Walk
okay.
through town, you get back.
There's one conversation I probably would have had with Argon.
Yeah.
So Argon, what's your specialty? What's your focus?
That's interesting. I've been I'm here trying to learn more about focus. My focus is on the manipulation of time.
Is that your only specialty? Do you have any other things you focus on, or are you just mostly focused on chronology?
Mostly chronology, though. I mean, I've got all of the basics. I was raised in the Lyceum.
Argon, insight check.
Jesus. Nope.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's wonderful.
What about you? What's your specialty?
Practically, I'm very skilled with what I can do is in conjuration, though I do have a high amount of theoretical knowledge on enchantment. I'm not really the best at actually performing it, though.
Conjuration. No, I never did learn too much conjuration. It was not one of my better schools.
It's a fun one. It's up there with illusion for me. Those are my two favorite. I love the ability just to be able to move places so quickly and bring things to you.
It certainly can be handy. And my sister was better at conjuration and illusion than I was. I think she had a better mind to wrap herself around more abstract things, I believe, than I could. I never had the imagination for it.
Just be careful when you wrap things around. Don't wrap it too tightly. Don't want to hit the pole.
Just look at him confused. Argon doesn't always get subtext or jokes. Yeah.
Oh, there's a Corvus and Fortune.
Oh, I guess we should go see about dinner then.
Okay. And she walks up.
All right. The four of you go downstairs, and there is the remains of a fine dinner, leftovers, though way higher quality than what most of you are accustomed to. Corvus, you did stay out past dusk. Usually mealtime is an hour before dusk for dinner, but, you know, whatever. You haven't been on a strict regiment in a while.
I'm not going to complain.
And all of you have wild turkey that was freshly caught, mashed potatoes, a little bit of squash, you know, a hearty, filling meal.
After
the
dinner,
four of
I'll
you sit down.
check in on Corvus's dad and see if he's all right. Offer more healing.
Oh, we're skipping past dinner? You guys don't want to talk? Okay.
Oh no, we can. Sorry.
So, Corvus, excuse,
Bless you.
excuse me, Corvus, Fordrum, Joy.
Yeah.
No, I think we're kind of at a Jasper if he was not too busy pooping again.
Yeah.
Does he always do that? Is he
He
okay?
always does.
He's been having
Those-
some issues with
Those
his
forest
digestion.
diseases, man, they really get you.
Have you taken to the medic? Like go to a medic or something, or to an herbalist? They might be able to help with that.
It would feel
I'm
like
sh-
cheating for him,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it'll pass in time.
It always does.
Do we have any idea where to next? I mean, for what little time I've been with you guys, actually, it hasn't been that little of a time anymore. This has been our focus.
Yep. Honestly, I sort of think that, I mean, I don't know how everyone else feels, but I think we had a foothold with that lady, what's her name from the...
Jenna Aerosaur.
Yeah. No, I know her name. I just didn't want
Oh,
to...
sorry.
Fordrum wouldn't say it. That lady, wizard with the assistant who's hot.
So you're not hung up on Janet, are you, Fordrum?
Yeah, a little bit. But
Damn it, Janet.
she had
I
some
love
other
her.
ideas going on. I wonder if she would need help. What do you think about offering some services to them?
I'll be honest, I'm not wholly against it.
All right. I mean, unless we want to, you know.
Who are these people?
Oh, a powerful wizardess woman who works for the, well, I guess that could be an issue, but she works for the service assembly, and they sort of run behind the scenes the kingdom.
Are you familiar with the assembly, Joy?
No, just enough to know not to really mess with them that much, and if they come running, to run.
Okay, it's probably safe.
That's a starter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was always surprised to stay 100 feet away from them at all times.
We also need to forge Jasper's sword.
Were you working on a forge or a sword for Jasper?
We were sort of. We were trying to forge it in Corvus's yard.
Before you wrecked it.
I feel like we is a safer.
Oh no, I had no part of that.
I meant we being Jasper and I.
Okay, yeah, I feel more comfortable with that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. It was wrecked.
I had the day before my gardener died.
Yeah. We could also check in on Reggie. He might need us.
Again, sorry to interject, but
Oh yeah. Reggie works for the service assembly, kind of as a
Volstrucker.
enforcer. Well, his title's Volstrucker, if you know what that is.
she makes a little squeak at that, like, oh, Volstrucker.
He's one of the good ones.
Do you know what a
Yeah,
Volstrucker
wonderful.
is?
As far as I know what I've been told about them. Most of it's not the positively favoring them or put them in a good light.
Right. We found one that is a good one.
You did.
We think so.
Well,
He was a good one.
If there's a good one, I'd be very interested in meeting one.
I can't speak for the rest.
If y'all want to meet, that'd be very
He
interesting.
seemed to think most of the rest of them were dicks.
Yeah.
Not all,
What?
but
Do you know if he has any issues with goblins at all? Do you know?
If you're with
I
us,
don't believe
they're not going to have.
As far as I know.
I just kind of have to be sure with general officials in the Empire. Not like it's the Greying Wilds, but
I feel like
Reggie
if you're
was the
with
type
us,
where, as long as you didn't go against, common decency and general morality, he probably wouldn't have a big problem with you.
are we adjusting our values now? We used to have, common decency wasn't part of our creed.
That's a new one for us.
Some of us it was.
Some of us it was true.
sure, I'd be interested in meeting him. He sounds like an interesting person.
I mean, I'm good for either of those options. She's, the Janet's boss is probably one of my few ways out from under the hunt.
Under the hunt?
Yeah, remember
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as I don't cross his path, then I'm fine. But she's probably would be a terrible ally to have to hide from him.
On that note, there is a knock at the front door. You listen as one of the guards answers it. And then the guard walks away.
The guard left?
Yeah. They answered the door and then they went back to their post.
Oh, okay. They went back to their post. You made that sound like they answered the door and then they just left with whoever came to the door.
Towards Corvos.
I mean, we do know she was looking for a circle down here. If we could find that, then
yes,
we'd be able to get us deeper on our good side.
Yeah.
Do you know any locals here that might know that? Maybe your father or something like that, Corvos?
He might.
I'm sure whoever the noble is that runs this estate probably knows it. Or at least there's a good chance of it.
I would say that is the more likely.
Though I don't know that he'd have any reason to tell us.
I say we should ask tomorrow.
Good idea.
Though he seems to be very busy. Every time that we've come here, he's been, not away, but indisposed. I mean, I'm not used to, I'm not a member of a noble family, but I've been around enough members of upper society to think that it would be somewhat strange for someone to have guests in their home multiple times and never at least meet the people that are in their home.
Well, I don't know.
Not from a sake of he owes us a meeting, but more of the fake of he wants to know who's in his house.
I mean, we traveled with Corvus for many months and he wouldn't even invite us in for dinner or sleep while we were traveling with him.
No.
You
Oh,
are
man.
more than welcome.
Maybe it's different in the Empire than where I'm used to. It just struck me as a little weird that he was always busy.
Are there any guards within hearing range?
Around the corner, but not like they're attentively watching you. They're just sitting in the main foyer and, being on guard.
You have to be careful with your wording. Yeah, the Empire can be quite weird sometimes.
Fair enough.
Eh,
Well, till the morning then.
Good morning.
Yeah, I guess it's a good time to go to bed.
Okay.
Then I'll go check on Corvus's dad if that's all right.
Very well.
Another little healing.
Well, let's role play a little bit here instead of skipping right on past it. It's okay. Not Corvus. Fordrum.
Yep.
The door opens up, and you see he is currently sitting inside of that wheelchair again,
Yeah.
looking at a stack of papers, and looks over at you. Hello. Who are you again?
I'm Fordrum. How you feeling, Lord?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Much better than I was earlier. Getting a little tired though.
Yeah.
I talked to your uncle, was it?
Uh-huh.
Yes, and I think we can come to a reasonable understanding. I just need to. He'll be sending someone down here soon. Just
Good.
need him to get connected with somebody over at the brigade, and they'll be able to give him access to the teleporter, and he'll come on through. So.
Brigade and teleporter. Brigade, the brigade here in this town. Is that what you
Well,
mean?
yeah, the Darrington Brigade.
Darrington
Are you
Brigade,
familiar
yeah.
with them?
No, we've only been
Oh.
here to see you.
Oh, well, if you're interested in learning a little bit about the influence of the most heroic adventurers in the Empire, there's a series of about 12 books over there, all labeled the Darrington Brigade and the legendary adventures of Tyrion Darrington and all of that.
God.
You know, I'm not much of a reader, but I'll borrow them for someone else who I am sure would
Yeah.
feel very interested.
Yes,
But
I'm
that
currently
big-
working on volumes 13 through 27. What
Ah.
else? I'd offer you those ones as well.
Oof. They sound like they've done a lot.
Oh, so much.
That's age
Fascinating.
23 through 24. This
Yeah.
6 books per year.
Yep. But yeah, how's
Would you like
Corvus?
He's doing pretty well. Would you like a little more healing before bedtime?
Oh, I think I'm fine.
Okay.
I talked to the priest, and he assured me that I just need to rest up more, and hopefully tomorrow the druidess will be here. Then some of
Okay.
these burn marks can start regenerating.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, Joey, do I think something like, I know that calm emotions is intended for something else, but do I think that casting something like that on him to give him peace for a good night's sleep could be beneficial, or do I think it's just manhandling something that probably doesn't really need to be manhandled?
It would assist him go to sleep faster if that is what he's actively doing.
Yeah.
Right now he's writing, so like you would calm him and it would give him a moment of peace, but like in order for it to really affect, like if he was lying down and you cast
Yeah.
calm emotion, if their mind is racing, they're out. Like
Right,
if they're
right.
tired, of course,
Right.
And he
Right.
does look
yeah,
tired.
I wondered if something like since he was saying he was having dreams of spiders and things, I was going to try and see if I could think of something that would shield some of that from him. But
Oh,
I
there's
don't know
only
what I
one
have.
spell that can do that, and that's the dream spell.
Yeah, I don't do those things.
Which
so.
we have a scroll of.
Hey.
Like you
But
said,
yeah.
you learn from all the spells from those trolls too.
But yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
As you're walking out, can you ask the guards their names for me, please? The ones keeping watch.
I can.
Thank you.
I lean my head out and I go, "Hey, what's your names?"
Rusky. Forces. You hear
And
from
I
down
look-
the hall. My name's Michael.
Rescue Forces and Michael.
That sounds normal. Okay. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Whiskey? It's
A
good.
lot of it, please.
Here you go. And I walk over and take my thing and fill his glass.
Fortune, with your passive, as you approach, you see he does pull a belaying pin out from underneath his sleeve, but not like he's ready to stab you, but just getting cautious.
I smile at him super big to try and relieve his tension. Pour it in there. Take a sip out of the same jug before I strap it back on my thing, and I go, "Enjoy it, lad, or enjoy it, Lord. You'll be
Thank you.
you'll be well soon."
Takes a very deep swig and oh,
It's magic, huh?
closest thing there is to it.
Well, may the Father look over you. Good night.
Goodbye. And you walk out.
Yeah.
Fortune, as you're leaving, roll me a perception check, please. Very well. You make it back over to your room. Everybody else is already in their rooms, of course. You do see that there is a guard walking down the hallway, but there's been guards walking down the hallway all day. Just, they patrol every 10, 15 minutes or so.
Okay. I'll make eye contact with him and give a nod when he, walk by, go in the room, close the door. Say prayers before going to bed, drink some whiskey.
And you do hear a very faint whistling as the guard walks by. But anyways.
Hey, we're sleeping here.
Whistling. It's the dire giant in disguise.
I know, I was gonna say, with
He's the only
All
other
the-
person I know that whistled.
all the villains that have whistled in this fucking thing, I'm he's lucky he's
Alrighty.
got his head.
So, you all go to sleep one by one?
Yep. With no watches.
With
None
no
at all.
watches. Why would you need to watch? There's perfectly good guards.
Right.
I do lock my door though.
That's fair. There is a lock.
You
for
lock
a
your door,
reason.
Argon? Or because Joy isn't. Are you gonna lock
What?
it? Are you
No,
locking
I'm
the
not
door?
gonna lock the door. No.
I'm not locking the door.
Forgery.
Our door's unlocked.
What? Am I gonna lock my door? Hell no.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
In the middle of the night,
Yep.
as you lie there, almost subconsciously, you're counting the repeated footsteps of the guards as they move past. You know, white noise to just keep in the back of your mind. Dunk, 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 dunk. The guard misses a beat. You hear dunk. And then nothing.
Well, I get out of bed to that,
Okay.
grab my axe, walk to the door, open it, and stick my head out.
Roll me a perception check, please. You see the guard is standing there in the hallway,
Uh-huh.
15 feet down from your door. Right foot in the air,
Mm-hmm.
not moving.
Okay.
You see these tiny little cords coming down from the ceiling, connecting to each of his limbs as if he's suspended there.
Okay. I walk down there.
All right. You wander down the hall. It's a little chilly, but not bad chilly for you. It's nice chilly, like cozy chilly. You walk over.
I'm gonna walk
body-
around so I'm in front of him.
As you get around to the other side, you see there's a large spider over his lips and these multiple different threads connecting to his body as his eyes are darting all around looking terrified.
Okay. I push his body back, seeing if the webs that are holding him will let go.
The tension is taut.
Can I grab the spider that's in front of his mouth?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I'm gonna grab it and try and crush it.
All right, give me a strength check.
Just a straight strength.
Yep.
21.
You grab onto the spider and snap it, and as that happens, you see all of the threads loosen and the individual's body collapses to the ground. Pulls out a whistle and starts blowing it at the top of his lungs. All of you are awakened to the sound of an emergency whistle now.
What
I
happened?
will.
Come on. What's going on?
After about his fourth or fifth breath, he's looking down the hallway, stands up, draws his blade, and I stopped moving. I stopped moving for some reason. I didn't see what happened.
I run to
The Lord! And he
I
takes
run
running
for
off.
Corvus's door. Corvus's
He's running the
dad's door.
opposite direction towards the Lord of the Manor's home.
Right. Yeah, I don't care
Yeah.
about that guy. He hasn't even said hi.
Yeah,
Everyone
I'll
else,
just,
what are you doing?
I'm grabbing my sword and shield and also running for my father.
You're donning your armor?
No.
Okay.
Waking up, grabbing my bag of goodies, and gonna peek my head out the door. See what I see, and then going to quickly try to get Argon to figure out what we're gonna do.
Well, first thing we need to do is go find Corvus and Fordrum. So I'll grab my pack and my staff and start heading out towards whichever one of those rooms is closest.
All right. Directly outside the hall, maybe 6, 7, 8 paces away, you see Fordrum standing there in his nightshirt holding his shield and axe. Corvus is
Fordrum-
popping out right now as well.
Fortune, are you okay?
I start running for Corvus's dad's room. I don't.
Jasper will
I'm
jump
like,
out as well.
Come on.
I'll follow Fordrum.
Mage armor and following.
1 second. I'm sorry. I'm looking at his character sheet because I'm not that familiar with it. Nope, he doesn't have any of that. As you're all running down the hallway, Jasper will reach out to Corvus, mage armor, and Fordrum, mage armor.
Wow.
I'll cast mage armor on myself.
That makes your AC equal to 13 plus dexterity, since neither of you are wearing armor right now.
Cool.
It's better than nothing.
So,
But as you run down the hallway, you round the corner, and you see suspended out front of the door, there are 2 individuals just connecting to threads as there are spiders engulfing their body, wrapping them up like a cocoon around it. The static guards placed in front of your father's room.
open the door. I skip them.
All right. Two of you run over there, or the 4 or 5 of you, sorry, run over there and slam the door open. You all see the visage of Belda Marie hanging over top of Corvus's father's bed. And she looks back at all of you and hisses and spits all over the room. And this is where we're coming back next week, everybody.
Oh,
She said she had no problem with any of you. But anyways, players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all had a fantastic time. And don't miss next week, as that is going to be the finale of the Astoleth Curse, or possibly the Astoleth family. We will see you all next time, so be sure to stay tuned. Bye.